Hello family. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy E will retire in Rome. Guys, you know this is my other channel. I try to post video on here once a week, but sometimes it's kind of difficult, but you know what? It is what it is. But you know what? Being that I am practicing and a retiree in training, so I like to do this, right? Talk about what's going on, how much money we're going to be living off of or retire fully and still rolling around and having some fun. With that said, guys, okay, welcome all of our new subscribers. We finally hit 1,000 subscribers a few weeks back, and I want to say thanks to all of you guys who helped me get this channel to 1,000 subscribers. Okay, I appreciate that, and I do what I do to give back to the community. Now, with that said, right, today something freaky happened. We're sitting in the house, right? I'm sitting here watching a soccer game, and every mom's come and said, "Oh, we're going to the store." I was like, "Okay, I'm going to the store. Well, you want me to go with you guys or what?" Because they're already dressed up. And she's like, "Yeah, we're gonna go by ourselves." I said, "Okay." Well, I'm watching the soccer game, and then she came back in. She's like, "Well, how long is your game?" I was like, "Well, another hour." She said, "Okay, well, I'll just wait. When your game finish, we'll go to the store." I was like, "Okay." Didn't mean that I gotta go spend some money. But fast forward, we left, went to the store. In the store, went to the first store, purchased a few things. Went to the second store, purchased a few things, and then they're like calling my license plate, right? And I was like, "Why is it calling my license plate? I just parked the car. There's nothing wrong with the car. The light's not on." For almost an hour, they called in my license plate. And I'm sitting there, and we finally go to check out the girl, the cashier. She had this look on her face like, oh, they're not gonna be happy. But I'm like, what's wrong with the car? Because of course my Spanish is not that great, so I only understand very basic Spanish. That I can get along, have basic conversation. Anyway, walking outside, and I see the hood look like it's open, and I'm like, did somebody try to break into my car? Guys, somebody, I don't know, backing up or whatever they were doing, backing to my baby. Now, I had this car for 5 years. No problem, okay? No problem. And the guy who ran into me, he's a police officer. It doesn't matter. I don't give two crap about that. But he left the scene of the crime and left his cousin there because he had to run to go to another city. So anyway, the cousin waited for us the entire time we were there. Give us his information. They're gonna try to fix my car. But guys, I had this car for 5 years. Okay, and then this happened. And the parking space I was gonna park into, when I pulled in, there was a car in front of me. I was trying to pull into the other parking space. And the guy was either he would have moved and he was leaving. So I ended up just backing into this space. And this happened. But you know what? I always said, whenever something like this happened, there's always something bigger that was going to happen. That God said, you know what? I'm going to give you this little bit, let you deal with it. It's not a big of a deal. In Colombia, this might cost $200 to fix, right? A couple of body panels, paint to match. It's not a big of a deal. Okay? So it is what it is. Hopefully everything goes well. He do come through and fix the car. So I wanted to share that with you guys, right? That's what happened today. But on the other note, right, we're going to take a quick look at the portfolio to see what's going on with the portfolio and how much money we've generated also in the portfolio. Okay? Now, there's other stuff going to be coming up. There's a quick video about the new apartment that I bought. I'm going to post that up here so you guys can take a look at it and let me know what you think, right? So I got 2 properties in Colombia that I pay cash for, okay? So not bragging, just sharing, okay? So I'm going to post a video for you guys to take a look. at the walkthrough after purchase walkthrough um, with the apartment about the apartment. Okay, so with that said, guys, let's jump quick into my portfolio. So as you can see, right, see the estimated income. Of course, the number have changed over the past month, right? Because I've made a lot of changes to my portfolio. I saw a lot of things. Bringing down not only my margin balance but also my negative balance. Now this balance is still off. I don't know what this thing hasn't fully updated, but it's saying I'm down 29%, almost 30%, which is not actually 100% correct. But this is not just one portfolio; it's all of the portfolios combined. So that might be accurate with all of the portfolio combined, or close to it. But we're down about $195,000. Okay. And then the actual income, the actual portfolio balance, right, plus invested balance. So this is my actual portfolio balance, but based on this tracker, $470,000, and this is my actual amount that I invested, cost base. So this is what I put into the portfolio. Um, Down over 200, almost $200,000, which is a lot of money, right? But in that 200,000 that went down, as far as things go, we still estimated generating $520,000, about $43,000 a month. Okay. Now this is estimated because, like I said, a lot of change in my portfolio right now. With this month, we're looking at generating maybe about $25,000 this month. So that would change the weekly from 10,000 to about 5,000. Now the reason for that is, like I said, I made a lot of changes to the portfolio. I sold a few positions off the portfolio to bring down my cost base, right? And kind of, especially the positions that I was in the positive, not the one that was in the negative. Position that was in the positive that I didn't feel like I needed to have anymore, I sold out of those and reinvested the money into something else. My core positions that pay less dividend, but stronger as far as NAV erosion. Okay, so that's what I did. So as you can see, I have one, two, three, four portfolios in here. Okay, now this first portfolio, my Boys in the Hood, that's on Robinhood, so I call it Boys in the Hood. Um, it's a small portfolio. This is primarily for my daughter's college tuition. Okay, now this portfolio here, cash management, is this same portfolio, but I opened it on a different platform. So this portfolio eventually, car portfolio, will be moved into this portfolio, and this gonna be my pretty much my car portfolio, my daily living portfolio, my expenses portfolio. Okay, and my big boy portfolio, which is literally what it is, it's my big boy portfolio that's got all the money in it. With I'll put money over from that portfolio to these other portfolio to get them to where they're generating anywhere from 10, $15,000 a month. And this portfolio is still going to be doing what it's doing, generating 25, 30 grand a month. So if I have three portfolios, right, this one I just need to generate 4 to 5 grand a month, that'll be great. When we at that $20,000 a year, that's more than enough to cover my daughter's tuition. Because right now I'm not paying all of the tuition. Her mom is paying half, I'm paying half. So if we can get this portfolio up to 20 grand a month, a year, that means I only need half of that to pay our half of the tuition, and then the other half is reinvested. That would just grow the portfolio even more. This cash management portfolio, I use this portfolio pretty much right now. I'm adding all of my bills and all that stuff there so I can make my payments on my bills. Pretty much what it is. It's kind of like having a checking account, but it's not just a checking account. It's a spending account, and I can also use it to buy positions. So I love this account. It's pretty great. And then my portfolio being on is just easy. When the investment come in, the distribution come in, I can just transfer it, and it's available right away because it's the same, bank, same financial institution. So I don't have to wait. Like most cases, I have to wait like a day when I move funds to other bank. Not all of the banks, just one. It usually takes 24 hours uh, between transferring in the morning to the next day when the funds is available. But if I do it in the same platform, just moving funds from one account to the next, so it's automatically available right away. So that's the reason I kind of changed to this cash management account, and we're investing in this cash management account so we can pay our bills out of there. Right now, we're barely generating, a little bit of something, something, right? $67 a month, which is not bad for an account that's like what, $1,300, right? Only got about $1,300 in this account that's generating $67.25 every month. That is $15.52 a week, and on a daily basis, right? It's generating $2.21. On an hourly basis, it's generating 9 cents per hour. Okay, this 9 cents per hour, I don't have to work for, I don't have to do nothing for, and it generate that money. Okay. Now, I know you guys are like, you can't live over that. Guys, I only started this portfolio quite recently. Um, Maybe a month or so ago. I just started this portfolio. So it's quite new, and of course, you got to add money to the portfolio to grow. Now, this portfolio here is my daughter's tuition portfolio. This account used to have 30 some $1,000 in there that was transferred over to this account because of margins. So now I'm starting the account over without margins, and I'm investing in some positions that are core positions, not all of the extreme high yield stuff, some of the stuff that pay under 20%, but hold in NAV. Okay. And I do have some risky stuff in there because I have to pay tuition, right? And the goal was to I can either pay the tuition one time and don't get nothing in return, or invest some of the funds or all of the funds, right? And use that to pay the tuition. And after she graduates, I still have money available for me, or I can use it for Evie or whatever else I have to do, right? So that's part of the reason I changed that. Now, this card account also had like 30 some $1,000 in this account, but also because of margins, I end up transferring this account from here to my big boy account, and then I ended up adding money in here, right? Um, to kind of use it to make my car payments, and that way I don't have to pull money from this account anymore. But after a while, I decided, you know what? I need to move this fund from in here and put it into this cash management account, and I will use this account pretty much to pay my car payment and some other bills, right? The distributions come in, I reinvest some of the distributions, and I use the rest to pay for my car. Now, this account here, right now, has got about uh, $12,000 in this account, right? 12,500, and we are down 2,000 plus dollars in this account. But this account just paid 400 some dollars in distributions. So if you add that 400 some dollars in there, we're down like 1,000 something. But the goal is to get this account back to positive, to green, and then end up transferring all of the funds out of this account through my cash management account, which I can buy a fraction of share. This position, I cannot buy a fraction of share. If I have $1 and I want to invest, I cannot invest that dollar. I have to buy a share. The shares, let's say the share is $107. I have to pay the whole $107. But in any of these other accounts, if I need to buy something that is $107 and I have $1, I can purchase $1 of that $107. Now, there's some people will be like, that don't really matter. But the thing about it is that $1 will start in returning me with the next time they pay distributions. That $1 will start putting me money in my pocket. So that's why I like to invest in used accounts that have fractional share or give me the option to invest in fractional share. Okay, so now this is my big boy portfolio. As you can see, $43,000. It's a lot of money, but like I said, this changed because I have sold a lot of positions out of here, and right now we're on track to generate anywhere from $20,000 to $25,000 this month. Okay, and going forward, probably the next probably till December or January, we might be at that range of generating $20,000 to $25,000 a month. Um, And not only that I'm reinvesting, 15,000 plus back into my portfolio, I'm also using some of that money to pay off debts, pay down my margins, and transfer funds into this account. Right? I'm transferring funds into this account, into this account. So my goal before the end of the year for each of these accounts to be at least have the value of $5,000. So I think it's possible, right? We still have 3 more months to go. So even if I don't get to that $10,000 in both accounts, even if I get to 2,000 or 5,000 in both accounts combined, it's still something that I'm doing, right? I'm still trying. So we will see how much money we get by the end of the month. And by the time I finish paying bills and doing everything else, I'll see how much money I can move to those accounts. Okay, guys? So I just want to share this with you guys. Anything is possible. Right? You can live off dividend. Technically, if I was to retire today, right? If I was to retire today, I will have enough money to pay all of my bills, right? And still live, like I said, I don't really live an expensive life, even though some people think I do because I have properties in the US. So of course, yes, I do have to take care of those things. But my cost of living in Colombia is compared to what I spend in the US. I mean, it's like apples and oranges. I'm spending maybe 2 grand a month, if that, but not even 2 grand, like $1,200, $1,500 a month, and that was two properties, and that includes the bills for all the two properties, paying my employees, all of that stuff, right? About $1,500 a month. Now that I purchased this property that I'm in now, I don't have to spend that $350 a month anymore. Instead of spending that $350, now I only got to spend $75, $80 a month, depending on the exchange rate for administration, right? And that's HOA. And then other than that, I can put that money into something else, food or whatever else, spending money, party money, whatever, right? So that's less money I have to come out of my pocket now, but this property is paid for cash. I got to pay my taxes every year and keep it moving. Okay, guys? So like I tell you all the time, we invest and then use the money to buy asset, okay? To buy other asset that can generate money, okay? That's why I have the property in Cartagena as Airbnb that does generate income, right? Um, so sometimes I don't even use my own money to pay for anything because that property generate enough money to pay for all of my stay here. So now that my cost of living is even lower, below $1,000 a month for two properties, light, water, gas, internet, all that included, right? Because the payoff, so all I gotta do pay now is light, water, gas. Both properties and internet, and then pay my folks that manage the property, my folks that clean the property. That is it. So my expenses now is for this month they're probably gonna be about the same because I have to pay the light bill for my rental when I leave there. But once we leave the rental and move everything next month, right? Next month probably like the bill might be the same. But once we move everything, right, from not having a rental anymore, which is already paid for, but we still have to pay the light bill, light, water, gas bill for the rest of this month, and that comes sometime next month. But just a portion of it, until the end of the month. Whoever takes over from the end of the month, they will be responsible from that 1st to the 15th. Okay. So I like to give you guys a lot of information so you can understand what I go through every day. This is my life right here. I get up in the morning, right? I brush my teeth, shower. I come to my office, right? And if I have work to do, I log in to work and do my job. And then in between work, when I need a mental break, I look at my investments. Okay? Usually I do that in the morning, in the afternoon, and the end of the day. So 3 times a day, about 15 minutes a day, I go through all of the accounts that I have, right? See if money come in, do I need to reinvest that money? especially like in my daughter's accounts, my retirement, my Roth, right, which I just pulled 65K out of to buy this property, along with money that I pulled from my other portfolio to pay for this property cash, right? Um, I know within the next 7+ years, I will have that portfolio back over 100,000, generating a couple of $1,000 a month, easy. So I mean, it's once you've done something once and you learn it properly, I know I can do it again, right? So that's just money there for me to enjoy later on when I'm 59 and a half. And then once I turn 62, right? If I'm retired by the time, which I think I should be retired by 65, 55. But if I'm retired by the time and working for myself or doing whatever I'm doing, I'm taking that too, right? Because that's I don't really need the money, but I'm taking that money and do something else with it. Okay, guys. So you have to plan your future because if you don't plan it, there's nobody else going to do that for you. You have to do that yourself. And I tell you guys all the time, you have to plan your future. Okay? It took me 5 years to get here. So I don't even know what the next 5 years is going to look like. Okay? Can you imagine me doubling what I already have coming into my portfolio? I don't even have to double the income, but double the actual portfolio. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to double the income. I'm estimating in 5 years to be doing 1.2 million, $2 million a month, a year. Okay, but I don't have to double the income because once I pay down debt, increase the portfolio value, and with the other things that I'm trying to do, which is buy land, invest in real estate, guys, life is life in right now. But we gotta do what works for you, what works for me. Okay, I'm not telling you to follow my thing. No, I'm just telling you to find what works for you and invest in your future. Because when you go to work, you're giving your time, you're doing all this extra stuff, and people get laid off, and then you have nothing to fall back on because you spent all your other time working for somebody else and giving back to somebody else. Okay? So, guys, remember, subscribe to Retire and Roam. I need your love. Watch the content. We're trying to grow this channel also. Where I mean, at some point, I'll be doing more videos on this channel. But for now, it's a slow process, and we're getting there. Okay, guys. So with that said, I want to say thanks to all of you guys for watching, liking, sharing the content. And this is not financial advice, so do not take it as financial advice. Okay. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Peace out.